like 9:30 is coming at you. Okay, all right.
Yeah, 5 and 7 would be perfect.
So, Christina, we didn't ask if you wanted your speech taped. Aaron just went ahead and taped it, and I'm really glad for selfish reasons. So, Cameron, I don't want to make that same mistake. Would you like your speech recorded?
Sure.
Excellent. All right.
Cool.
So, Cameron, it looks like all of us are ready. Yes? And I am ready when you are.
Cool. All right.
Shh.
Okay. Everyone see that? That's the most adorable baby pig you'll ever see. Alright, we can turn that off. Okay, so how many animals do you think are killed every year due to animal testing? Any guesses? Any? None? Alright, so maybe like 1,000, maybe 100,000, a million. Okay, since you guys are asking. 100 million animals are killed every year due to animal testing. And just to put that into perspective, New York, it has 8 million people living in New York right now. So that's just an estimate. That's about 10 and a half times, 8.5 million people living in New York. And that's a crazy amount. This includes cats, dogs, fish, why fish, farm animals, birds, chimps, and other primates. And that's from the Humane Society. And with new technology, we no longer need these animals to be tested on. So in my speech, I want to prove to you that animal testing needs to be stopped because it's unethical and it's a form of animal abuse. Okay, so who here has a pet? Just by show of hands. Okay, wow, everyone, nice. Dogs, cats, they're all on the list, right? Okay, so now imagine your pet is in a lab. And I'm not talking about the dog, I'm talking about the science place. Okay? So where it's being tested. What would those tests consist of? Well, they would be being gassed, they would be getting shots, and in some cases they would even be having makeup put on. Let's see. And these are some things that you don't hear about every day in the news. You don't hear about how thousands of animals are dying due to animal testing in the media. You don't hear about that. But what we do hear about is Beyonce having twins. And we're like, oh my gosh, she's having twins. And yet, thousands of animals are dying every single day. There are 181 products, cosmetics, shampoos, makeups, you name it, that use animal testing. Some that you may know that probably come into your daily routine would be Dove, Vaseline, Speed Stick, Dawn, and Old Spice. These are some that even I use, and I learned about this not too long ago, so I stopped. I doubt many of you were aware of this when you're buying it. You just buy it off the shelf. Okay, this smells nice, this looks nice, cool, it's great. I know that's because that's the way I am as well. But this affects more than just your smell or your looks or the way you'll hold yourself for the rest of the day. This affects animals back in labs that you don't even know about. This is affecting animals that are getting their eyes burned out or having their ears cut off. It's awful. Also, human DNA is nothing, it's close, but not close enough to animal DNA. There was an experiment done to rabbits where they had eyeshadow. And they put eyeshadow on the rabbit's eyes, and the rabbits looked beautiful. So they're like, hey, let's put it out on the shelves, And so I went out on the shelves, and just as a prototype, kind of, just a few out there. And when people bought it, they had 7 cases where people had burned their eyes out because of this eyeshadow, and it was awful. Okay, so now we have found new ways to do animal testing. We have found new ways, new technology has come around. I mean, now we have cars that can drive themselves. We have fake skin and fake organs that we can create in a lab. This skin is much more compatible to the makeup and is much more accurate. I actually have the stats right here. So, testing on animals only has a 61% rate of achieving and being correct. whereas this fake skin is 81% more effective, which is mind-boggling in the science world. Now, I know a lot of us think, okay, well that's animal cruelty, but there's also money that has to go into it. And where's this money even coming from? That money is coming from us actual taxpayers, believe it or not. I got that from PETA.org. And for a single lab, the testing facility, not the dog again, the testing facility, it costs $40,000 to keep it running. That's a lot of money, just for one lab. And we're not talking, that's a small lab with about 8 people running it. We're not talking about this huge, massive scale of animal testing. Now, imagine a world where animals aren't harmed, where 100 million animals every day, or 100 million animals every year are being saved and they're not being killed, tortured, and maimed. A world where you can go to the store, pick up a bottle of this awesome product, and see how it's not animal tested. There's no labels on the back. You don't have to worry about it. You can buy it and you can feel good about yourself. You don't have to worry about what's happening behind those closed metal doors or behind those awful, in those cages. So, what can you do about it? There are many, many, many different approaches at this, from extremist to not. So, I'll start with the extreme because this is much more fun. On one hand, we have PETA asking you that when you die, offer up your body to science. Let's use your body to be tested upon for makeup, so when you go into the ground, you look great, man. You'll look great when you go in. And on the other hand, we have this, I couldn't find it online, this following, or this group of people that say, when your neighbors are out at work or something, go into their house and steal their shampoo bottles. Because obviously they're not making the right decision, so you need to make it for them. Where else do you think I got this? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I got that from my bathroom. It's a joke. Okay. I personally will ask nothing so drastic. I know that when you're going to a store, you don't want to have to worry about, oh, well, shoot, this is animal tested. Do I have to do research on my phone? Oh, well, this product costs $20, whereas this one costs $18, and this one was tested on animals, so I'll go for the cheaper one. I know. It's difficult, it's a difficult decision, and it's a conscious thing. You have to make an effort toward it. But think about that cute baby. Could you pop up the pig again? Think about this cute little baby pig right here. This little baby pig, these are the animals that they test upon. Little babies, because they're just coming out of the mom and they're like, hey, let's use you for science. So I ask nothing so drastic. I ask that when you go to the store, just think twice. Just think twice before you buy a bottle of shampoo, or think twice before you buy that stick of deodorant. It'll make a huge difference in the overall impact. Even if just a small group of us start, overall, over time, it'll make a large impact. Or you could even sign up with PETA and go to your neighbor's house and steal those shampoo bottles. Totally up to you. I don't encourage that, but go for it. So, thank you.
All right, Cameron, so 753, and what is your measure?
So my measure is, have I convinced anyone here to think twice before you buy a bottle of shampoo or any other cosmetics?
Yes. And Cameron, are you going to tell us about the cruelty-free stamp that we can look for?
Yes, but that's becoming harder and harder to find.
Oh, it
so
is?
I didn't, yes, because there's some companies that are kind of changing the way it looks now, so it's harder to find it.
So it's not clearly labeled anymore?
No, ma'am, it's not. So you would shop at Trader Joe's or something like that. That's a safe way, but it was too difficult. There were some companies that were using it, but the media said no, and it was just it was a real maze. So
do you know if there's a list of products anywhere that we could?
Yes, ma'am. I got my list off of where was it? I believe I got it off of Australia animal, I believe. I don't
Okay.
know why I was looking.
I know PETA has a list of
Yes.
cruelty-free products, and I also know there's a website called www.crueltyfreeproducts.org.
I touched on that a little
Like
bit.
that's the actual name of it, and the only reason I know that is because one of my students in the 10 o'clock class gave a speech about this yesterday, so that's why I know that. So there is a full listing of products that are not tested on animals at that website.
All right.
And there's one, yeah, cruelty-free
Cruelty-free
products.org.
.org.
Yeah. All right, excellent job. So while Whitney's getting set up for her speech, feedback for